Hello and welcome to the Gooseboyz podcast.
Welcome.
We do this every single week without fail.
Weekly updates.
Every
week.
Episodes. Not a single week will ever be missed. We watch and read the Goosebumps books and episodes and the correlating ones between them, and then we talk about them.
Yes.
Yes, we do. My name's Aaron Eads.
And my name...
With me today, as always...
Sherwood James, Master of Games.
Sure. That's your name. That's your legal title. Today we are here to talk about The Girl Who Cried Monster.
Literary classic.
So, do we want to start with just our immediate opinions on this one, or just go right into the summary?
Opinions? Average Goosebumps.
Yeah, I'll save it for the review segment of this. We have our docket in front of us now. So the story starts... I'm going to pull, actually, this over here.
The book or the episode?
So, the story starts with Lucy Dark playing a hilarious prank on her little brother, Randy. Are you really going to look... The rollerblade question...
Just checking if the PDF had the text searching.
So,
continue.
Lucy Dark is playing...
12 years old.
12-year-old Lucy Dark.
Who's pale, white girl with straight black hair.
And she's playing these dirty pranks on her little brother, Randy.
What do you mean, dirty?
Dirty pranks! Like, she's putting her toes in the dirt. Literally dirty.
Was that in the book?
Yeah, she hid her toes in the dirt to convince her brother that
I thought they were, hanging around a tree.
They were hanging around the tree, and that's where she was talking about the toe biters. And how they're going to eat his toes. But then she was like, oh no, look, they got my toes, as she had buried her toes in the dirt.
Toe biters.
The razor-toothed toe biters, as the show called them. And their tree was a sassafras tree. Because I find that word funny, so I always remember it.
So she's scaring her brother.
Under the sassafras. And she's talking up how good she can make these stories.
What's that in your notes? Scares her brother. She's a real cunt.
Yeah, she's a real cunt. And at the beginning of the story, she's a real fucking bitch.
She just likes making up scary stories.
And terrifying her brother and just annoying everyone in her life with this shit. Her brother
is a pussy,
well,
alright?
Believes
everything she says.
For sure. So 3 pages in, we get our only pop culture reference of this ep, which is Disney and Archie Comics.
I don't know. They mentioned rollerblades, and it was capitalized.
That's not like a brand, though.
In the 90s.
That's not like a single brand, though.
Rollerblades, right? Pop culture.
Sure, but when I say pop culture, I mean like a literal brand. They are saying it in there. Because, you're not always allowed to do that.
Oh, that's like saying, what if, let's go watch a DVD. That's a pop culture reference.
Yeah.
DVDs, right?
But I'm specifically talking about brands and how often they bring up brands. Like, in fucking Animorphs talking about South Park and shit.
Yeah, that's what the kids are watching. South Park and Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah. So she meets up with her friend Aaron, who in the book is like tall, skinny, ginger. Then the episode is like a black kid.
He's a high-pitched giggle.
And in the episode, he's basically Steve Urkel.
But yeah, he sounds like he's 8 years old.
Yeah.
But he's like a few inches taller than her.
So she convinces him there's a monster up in the tree and it's gonna get him.
Wait, her brother or Aaron?
And she's trying to convince her brother of this, and then she's trying to convince Aaron of this, and he's like, I don't buy it. I don't believe it for a second. And then she climbs up there and hits a bird nest onto him, and he freaks out because it was a monster. So, the actual story of this is that she has to go to the library all the time to join the Reading Rangers program.
She's part of it.
Where each week she has to read a book and then tell the librarian all about it.
12 years old, has to read one book a week.
And these are big books that she's supposed to be reading.
Frankenstein.
Yeah. And she's never finishing any of these books. She's just making shit up.
She doesn't finish the lame ones. She only likes monster stories.
She didn't finish Frankenstein, though, because the type was too small.
It was a little too hard for her.
Yeah. At 12? Really?
Mary Shelley, she has some pros.
Yeah.
And cons.
Literary humor.
Check out our new reading show, Pros and Cons.
She also has tons of fucking run-on sentences, like, mad. Like, worse than me. And I've never made a writing mistake in my life. All of my literature is It's perfection. It's immaculate. I mean, you've read all of my books. It's
one of them.
All of my books, and you know for a fact that I am the greatest author that's ever been born. So she's returning like Huck Finn or some bullshit, and Mr. Mortman's like, "Ooh, it's a good book," and she's like, "Nah, I don't like it. It's bullshit."
He likes kids and he likes books.
He does. He loves these things and his pet turtles. Got his little pet turtles.
Also, he's really sweaty.
Oh, yeah. Very sweaty.
He's literally pooling up sweat on any book he touches.
Yeah, really should not have a job around paper.
Loves children, but loves books even more.
Loves it. So... Oh, yeah, they married from Super Nintendo. I forgot all about that. Her little brother is always playing that Super Nintendo. And so she... gives Mortman a book, and then, she leaves, and she forgets her backpack, so she goes back to get it, and then, oh, shit, what's going on?
Are you asking me?
I'm passing it to you for a natural back and forth.
I had in my notes here, at some point, her mother's like, oh, stop telling scary stories to your brother.
Her mom and father are fucking done with all this monster
These monster
bullshit.
Stories, they're just a phase, right? And then Lucy says, life is just a phase I'm going through. 12 years old.
Fucking edgy Lucy Dark.
Wise beyond her years.
So, she's back at the library, and oh shit, Mr. Mortman is transforming into a monster!
She randomly decides to spy on him because she loves watching people who don't know they're being watched. She gets a thrill from it.
That's what I put here. Lucy's a creeper.
Yeah, she's a voyeur. She loves it. She loves scaring people and watching people.
So she goes to get her backpack. He's eating fucking bugs and shit. And then she
turns into a monster.
I gotta get the fuck out of here. Gets the fuck out. Then she remembers... forgot my skates, so she goes back again.
She stomps out of there super loud, not trying to cover up her tracks, then comes back. But the library's closed.
So then, she can't, and then she's gotta go home.
In the rain.
Then the next day, she's back at it again at the library.
She goes home in the rain, she's soaking wet, barges in the house, and she's screaming about monsters at the library, and how nobody believes her. And she's upset that nobody believes her.
Of course nobody's
Why isn't anyone believe me?
You went from literally this morning laughing about how funny it is to make up monsters, and then immediately make up a monster.
But her parents don't want to hear it. Randy, her brother, he listens to her story. And
Dirty Randy.
He's scared, but he's also loving it.
He loves it.
He's holding her pillow to his chest, and he's breathing really hard as she's telling it. And then she goes to try to talk to her friend Aaron and convince him.
That's me.
And he doesn't believe her. And he's playing with the frisbee by himself.
Yeah, but it's like a special frisbee that if you throw it out, a rubber band brings it back to you.
Does this come back later?
A little bit, because he's like trying to untangle it because it like fucked up. So she, goes back to the library, and this time she's gonna hide in there, and then she's gonna see him.
No, that's after. She goes back, tries to get him to admit he's a monster, like straight away, and she even says, "Not very subtle, I admit it," but he didn't seem to notice.
Oh yeah. So in the episode, she goes to the library like one time. In the book, she is in and out of that library every page.
She's in there at least 5 times.
She is just in and out, not considering every possibility. Like, she goes in there after dark, doesn't even think that it's locked, doesn't consider that it might be locked, then doesn't consider that she could just unlock it from the inside. Until she's, like, at the door.
No, she heard him lock it, and then she's like, oh no. And then she remembers, wait a minute, I can just unlock it myself.
Yeah.
And then just unlocks it and leaves.
But her whole plan there was to see him again as a monster, so then people would have to believe her. Because she saw him again.
Now they'll believe me when I tell them there's a monster.
Will. So then she, no one believes her because she has no fucking evidence.
She jogs out of there. She jogged quickly. Didn't care if he heard her or not. Tries to go convince Aaron again. Surprised he doesn't believe her.
Surprisingly.
And, she says, you're a lousy friend. She screams at him.
You're a lousy friend. And then she stomps away. And then she makes a plan with Aaron that he's going to go in there with her and corroborate her
you
story.
forgot something. Mortman delivers her bag.
Oh, yes.
Brings it back to her. She's super obvious and nervous about it. Tries to get in the house.
Yeah, he's a real creeper there. And then Aaron agrees to help for $5. $5 whole bucks to sit into the library after dark and find a monster. But guess what? Aaron's a fucking dumbass. He had a dentist appointment or some shit, and she runs into Aaron's older brother, who is basically described as John Cena. Bert in his jorts with no shirt. Older brother. I'm pretty much just imagining John Cena in this role, but he's not there. So what's she gonna do? She cracks the scheme. See, she has a camera, and she never thought to use this before. The 3 times she's been in the library.
She planned on using her word. That didn't work. Now she's gonna get some photographic evidence.
I don't understand how this is a functioning 12-year-old girl who is forgetting every step of life, pretty much.
So she goes in there to get this picture. She's sneaking around the library.
Back at it again at the library.
Mr. Mormon is right behind her, and she had no idea. He gets a drop on her, and she doesn't even know she's there.
She sneaks in there with her camera and then takes a picture of him.
No. She's trying to do that, and then he sneaks up on her. Then she takes the picture. It blinds him. He doesn't know who's there. He starts freaking out, chasing her, and then she gets out of there.
Yeah, because the flash. She somehow forgot the camera has a flash, which gave her position away, but also blinded him temporarily.
He's got big bug eyes.
He's got big old bug eyes, because he's like...
And he apparently didn't have any lights on.
Yeah, in the episode, I actually really like the effect of the monster look. It was clearly...
Tension.
Well, just the way his eyes were bugged out, and he had goop on his head.
He was
and shit.
A fucking Star Trek alien.
He was. They 100%
just put it on the
Trek.
top of his head and change his teeth.
He had just normal clothes on, and then just a big goopy head. I liked it. It was fun. So she convinces her family to go and get Chinese food at the mall.
Oh, her elaborate plan.
So she can develop the photo. But apparently monsters in this are sort of like Dracula's in that they don't appear in photos.
Maybe she just missed the shot.
No, it's very explicit that he just does not appear in the photo.
And then she tries to use that as proof. See? He's not in the photo.
It's an
I'm
empty
telling
picture.
the truth.
It's empty. So they go
no one believes that.
Back again to the library for the 20th fucking time. But this time, she got Aaron there.
No, you're skipping a bit.
Oh, wait, no, they go to his...
She convinced Aaron to go with her to Mr. Mortman's house. So they're standing on each other's shoulders.
They're at the library to follow him to his house. So they go back to the library. They don't go in. They wait outside. So in case it hasn't been obvious...
No, they're at his fucking house.
No, they go to the library to follow him to his house.
They spy in his window.
Yes, but they follow him to his house from the library.
Okay, whatever. They're at his fucking house.
In case it's not obvious, we're not able to record this for a week after reading it, so some of the specifics in our mind are a little
I took
blank.
fucking notes here.
I took fucking notes, and they are at the library.
She gets the film developed.
Follow Mr.
Then
Mortman
they spy
home.
on him at his house.
They follow him from the library because they don't know where he lives.
Library aside, they're at his house. They're currently at his house.
Looking in.
Spying on him.
And Aaron is not looking in the window for some reason.
Yeah, he leaves to go get a ladder, and she witnesses everything.
And he just misses it.
And then they run because he sees them, and she tries to lie her way out of it, but she's terrible.
Yeah, she's awful. And he's like, hey, come into my house. Just come on. Get in my house. Again, this one, I think it's probably about pedophilia, really.
Well, when he delivered the bag, he was being pretty nice, but it still had that creepy tone to it.
He was trying to get in their house.
If you didn't know he was a monster, you'd be like, no, little girl, don't let this older man in your house and your parents aren't there.
Yeah, and then when she was at his house, he was trying to get her to come in. She saw him doing creepy things in the library. The nice librarian who, he's got a sinister side. I think it's
kids.
He eats things.
Likes books. Nothing creepier than that.
So they're back at it again at the library to return
with
books
Aaron.
with Aaron. Mr. Mortman knows everything, and he locks him in, and he's like, I'm gonna get you.
There's a whole chase sequence. They spill all the card catalogs. She does that to try to trip him
And the
up.
only thing a librarian can't stand is the cards on the floor, so he has to stop and pick them up.
Like a vampire.
Like a Dracula again. Apparently, this is like Dracula rules just apply to all monsters in this. So
eventually, she escapes and runs into Aaron, who, surprise, he saw something.
What the fuck is going on here?
So they go to her parents.
Did I do that?
He tells them, "Hey, I saw this monster. She's not lying."
And they're like, okay, Aaron, I'll believe you. So let's have him over for dinner. And he shows up, and they're all talking. He's like, oh man, these are some delicious meatballs. And then he's like, so what's for dinner? And then they're like, you are. And then they spawn teeth, and they hiss, and they eat him. And they eat him in seconds. They gobble him up.
Yeah, that goes real quick. Does not describe anything else of what they look like.
They just gobble them up.
The mother is described earlier as looking cat-like, like with her real human-like features.
Yeah.
But at this point, they get fangs, and they eat them.
They gobble them up. In the episode, they look like snake people, but in the book, there's no real description.
And the mom says, well, that's that. That's the first monster to come to Timberland Falls in 20 years. That's why it took us so long to believe you.
Yeah, so this is a real kind of fuck it ending.
They were monsters, all of them!
Like, it feels like, so...
Twist.
I write fiction, as I mentioned earlier, and when you're writing a shorter form thing, and you have an idea going, and then it just kind of, you don't really have an ending for it, you just kind of make something up, is what it...
Twist.
It's a twist! And it doesn't matter if it...
You didn't see this coming, did you?
It doesn't line up with anything the characters said or did in the rest of the first 90% of it. Just fuck it. Make something up at the end.
I have a huge problem with characters not believing people, because that's both... it's both not believable and really believable.
Yeah.
Plenty of people don't believe people.
So, like, not believing her made...
Gaslighting.
It made perfect sense.
Monsters aren't real.
That would have made perfect sense.
Making up stories.
Before the reveal that monsters are real, and they are monsters,
They
and
knew
know
monsters.
for a fact that they are monsters.
We're the only monsters in town.
Yeah.
Of course there's no monsters.
Why? It's like whenever there's a fucking movie where it's like foreigners are in a room with people from the same country, and their first language is not English, but they're all just speaking English. Why aren't these monsters just talking about the fact that they're monsters when monsters are being brought up? Why would she grow out of a monster phase when she is in fact going to grow into a monster who eats monsters?
Why is Randy so afraid of monster stories?
It's because he doesn't have his teeth yet. He can't protect himself.
And after they eat them, they're having a great time. They're laughing. Haha, you got him. Got the monster.
I can't wait for my fangs.
Yeah, the kids are both laughing it up about being monsters.
Yeah, like, it just does not add up at all.
Gaslighting all around.
Like, in the episode, it makes a bit more sense just because how condensed everything is, of like there's less time of repeatedly going to the library and he's a monster, guys, don't you believe me? There's just, the book really fucking dragged as it went on. Like, I was really liking it for like 5 chapters or so, and then it just kept fucking going for like another 50 pages. It really did not feel like a story that...
Yeah, that book was like 70-something pages.
It was like 70 pages, and it really...
Woo, that's some heavy lifting.
did not have the content to fucking sustain it. It was... Alright, so yeah, I guess we're on to the review and rating segment.
What about the episode differences?
Really, what's all that different?
In the episode... Aaron's
a black
They
kid.
made him black,
Steve Urkel.
which good for them. I
Sure.
applaud that. His voice is super high. He sounds like Steve Urkel.
Second time I've done that. Let's see if I can get
Good
the third
line.
out before
Good
the
line from Lucy. After she's telling her monster stories, she says, "It was just a joke." I personally love that line.
end. That's not really a line.
Dad says, "I hope this monster thing is just a phase you're going through,"
Which again does not make any sense.
They changed the crickets. They changed the flies and turtles to crickets and spiders.
Which crickets do make more sense than flies if he's grabbing handfuls.
Both of
and
them are
just
probably
eating them.
more easily filmable.
Yeah, for sure. Because in the book he like eats a whole turtle and crunches it the fuck up, and like
Bites its head right off.
That's pretty fucked up, honestly.
Mortman,
for a kid's story.
Mortman doesn't look as creepy as he's described in the book.
No, he does not.
He still has that kind of pedophile vibe to
Absolutely.
him. Like, bald man, you can't trust him.
What are you trying to say?
His eyes aren't nearly as beady. He's not sweaty.
Yeah, he's also
he's
like,
making jokes.
He's much more overtly creepy in the show or the episode. In the book, he
doesn't look physically creepy.
No, but like his actions and voice,
he's acting creepy.
In the book, he's more like just a friendly guy. They're like, oh, no one would suspect this friendly librarian man who's a little sweaty, a little weird, but
when he's chasing Lucy, he doesn't get blinded by the flash. He immediately knows it's her.
Yeah,
where are you, Lucy?
That was one of the better parts.
I love fast food. He's chuckling at it.
Oh yeah, he's basically Freddy Krueger once he transforms. But that was one of the better parts of the book, was that like that unknowing of, does he know it's her?
Yeah.
Like that was one of the better parts. But the moment she's in the library with him as a monster in the show, he's just like, Lucy, I see you.
And then when he delivers the bag, at that point, they both know that they know the other person knows.
Absolutely.
In the book, he kind of suspects.
He's trying to figure out if it was her. Like, clearly that's why
she's kind of trying to cover her tracks.
But she's also a scared 12-year-old girl whose parents aren't home, so she's
my
like,
parents are home. I mean, they are home.
Mom, is Dad still cleaning his rifle? Literal line from the episode.
She's always making up these stories, but she's terrible at lying about anything else.
It doesn't really make sense. She's a competent liar when it's in any way but necessary.
In the episode, Aaron did not witness anything at all.
Aaron was barely in the episode,
He
honestly.
told her on the phone, like, yo, you left your bag at the library, so he probably has your library card, so he knows where you live. And she's like, wait, what? Then he shows up with the bag.
Immediately she walks downstairs and he's there with her bag.
And then after the parents eat the monster guy, Aaron shows up. He's in the window and they're like, oh, there's another monster out there. And they're ready to eat him. And then he pulls off this mask. Ha ha, it's me, Aaron. It's me, Aaron.
What's for dinner? Ha ha.
You like cherry pie?
And that was the end of that episode.
Oh yeah, in the episode, they didn't just have fangs; they had like snake masks.
Yeah, they were like snakes in the episode. They were snake people. They kind of reminded me of the creeps from Calling All Creeps, but a little bit more snaky.
Probably asset reuse.
Might be asset reuse.
Added a few scales.
So yeah, the book for me just kind of petered out and was really long, and the ending was just kind of bad.
The episode really cut everything down.
The episode
essential stuff
was quick. It was just right through it.
When she's trying to, after he delivers the bag, and then... Yeah, they cut out the going to get the film developed scene.
No, they went and got the film developed, but
they cut out the Chinese restaurant.
They cut out the Chinese restaurant in the mall.
And when she's trying to tell her dad, like, oh, he came to our house, and it was for no reason.
Isn't that nice of him?
No, and the dad said he followed you home for no reason. Yeah, right.
Well, he returned my backpack.
Skeptical of a grown man harassing your 12-year-old daughter.
And then they invite him over for dinner.
Which means, like, come on, they know.
Yeah, they know. At that point, it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna
They believe her, but they're telling her they don't.
It doesn't make any sense.
You're crazy.
So, yeah. How many bumps would you give the book?
4 bumps.
Really? I'd give it 2 bumps.
3.5 bumps.
2 bumps. I think if it was just the first, like, 20 pages, I would probably give it, like, 4 or 5, honestly. Even if it was didn't end or anything, if it was just the first bit, I would like it a lot more. But it just keeps going. And the twist makes no sense.
It's fun, but it kind of ruins it.
It does. It makes no sense. It's a fucking ending.
I like Lucy's mentality of, ha ha ha, I love getting people with these monster stories. Yeah. And then as soon as the tables are turned, like the girl who cried monster, the boy who cried wolf, why doesn't anyone believe in me?
Yeah.
No, fuck, you're always lying.
She probably should have just died. That should have been the end of the story.
Got eaten. Well, she's a monster, though.
Well, yeah, but that's the twist. We didn't know that twist going through.
It
so
could
that
happen.
like how long it all drags out and the twist just make it. They bring it down. This is a lesser one for me, at least so far. So 2 bumps for the book.
Probably the most twistiest of all the books.
So far, at least.
We're monster.
It was us! Ha ha ha! So episode, I'll give it 3 bumps.
You know what? I'm going to change my rating. I give the book 3 bumps. I give the episode 4 bumps.
Yeah, I think the episode is actually a better version of this story just because it gets fucking through it.
These specific bumps, I'm not so certain on, but the episode's clearly better than the book.
The episode is clearly better than the book, like... And it's such a shame because the book has such great atmosphere for, like, the first half. And then it just
creepy library
and repeats.
The library used to be an old haunted house that they converted to just having a bunch of books in it.
Yeah, and, like... she just keeps going back to the library in the book, like, so many times. We're running home, my feet stomped on the concrete, and then I'm back at it again at the library.
Sneaking around in the dark.
Ugh. So...
I love seeing people, and they don't even know I'm looking at them. Monsters!
The toe biters!
I don't remember any other monsters she was making up.
There was one in the tree, but I don't think she had a name for it.
Shadow tree.
I don't know. Fucking dumb shit. So what are we gonna name this episode? The Boys Who Cried Monster, or The Girl Who Cried Boys?
Isn't that usually determined beforehand?
Well, no, that's a segment. We're naming the episode.
The Girl Who Cried Boys.
That's what I'm
That's
on board
almost
with.
too sinister.
Girl Who Cried Boys. How's that sinister?
You know, like real life.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into politics.
Oh, okay. So, Girl Who Cried Boys. Alright, so last time you said you had some R.L. Stine trivia.
Oh, yes, my Stein tinglers.
Ooh.
Let me just run down this list. So
Welcome
R.L.
to
Stein's...
Sherwood Stein Tinglers.
Put some music in there. R.L. Stein's books have sold... oh, wait for it. 400 million copies.
What?
Can you believe it?
Yeah, isn't he like the second highest selling author of all time or some shit?
Probably, I don't know.
He's one of the biggest selling authors. Like, I think
children's horror author.
he is definitely one of the biggest children's authors.
He's
for sure.
still putting shit out.
Oh yeah, he's never fucking stopped.
One of his upcoming stories is Just Beyond the Scare School graphic novel.
Could be good.
September 3rd, so it's already out.
Huh. Well, way to date this episode.
I mean, it's coming out.
I mean, you did say it was in the past, so it really didn't date it.
What a beautiful October we're having.
Beautiful. It's the 3rd week of October.
What a beautiful month.
Halloween
of
is
the
next
year.
week.
R.L. Stine started writing at age 9 on a typewriter in his attic.
Perfect.
Just like that one story, The Blob Who Ate Everyone.
Yeah, where he's on a typewriter in the attic, writing out these scary stories. I started writing around then. Not like routinely or anything, but I entered a local Write Fright contest where the newspaper they would give you like a prompt of like the first half of a story and then you finished it.
Spooky setup.
So then like everyone's different endings of that story, and I entered it 2 years in a row before they stopped doing it. First year I got like 5th place. Second year I got 1st place and was on the front page of the paper. And that was when I knew I wanted to be a writer, because I made $25 off of writing.
Wow.
And I spent it at the Fred Meyer.
How much do you make per writing these days?
A gentleman does not discuss price. So
bourgeoisie over here.
I don't want to dox myself. Don't want to have people watching my wallet. What's the next Stein Tingler?
So update.
We have many episodes, so you might want to space these out.
An update on the world-renowned artist of the covers of Goosebumps.
Ooh.
Tim Jacobus? Jacobus?
How is it spelled?
It's Jacob with a U-S at the end.
Jacobus
I did
sounds
not,
about
I
right
did
to
not
me.
look into audio pronunciation of his name.
Jacobus.
But if you wanted to know, Tim Jacobus?
Jacobu.
Probably one of those. It's French. The S is silent.
Alright, so...
one last thing.
one last Tingler.
R.L. Stein. Not sure what the R.L. stands for. Probably
Robert Lee Stein.
Robert Langdon. Huge Dan Brown fan. His parents are Louis Stein and Anne Feinstein.
Wow.
Could you have foreseen that?
No, I didn't know he was...
R.L. Stein is Jewish.
What? He's part of the global elite?
The global writing elite, yes.
Fuck. No wonder I can't break in.
Why is that bad? That's good.
I'm not upset. I'm scared.
Why are you scared of these Jewish writers?
Because the global elite, they're gonna come and take our children, and they're gonna say they can consent to sex. That's what Alex Jones told me.
Well, this isn't the Spook Wars.
Well, alright. Versus...
Info scares.
Who would be a good matchup for the monster, Mr. Mortman?
Yeah, who is the villain of this story?
Yeah, let's say...
He's minding his own business. He has shown no inclination to eat human flesh.
Yeah, he did try and eat her when she saw him.
Did he? He said he was gonna get her.
And eat her. He said, I love fast food.
That was in the episode.
I'm pretty sure he said
Dinner's served.
It's safe to assume he was at least gonna get her.
He said, in the show, he was eating the tarantulas, and he said, my favorite. So presumably, he likes eating tarantulas more than he likes eating humans.
But I assume he would eat a human if necessary. Because he is a monster.
They kind of just ate him.
Yeah, they gobbled him up and there was no blood or
Not clear
anything.
on the specifics of how their monster abilities interacted.
Yeah.
But they kind of just got him.
They got him. That's
So any sort of sharp instrument.
The book and the episode are about as explicit as each other, where in the book they say, they just gobbled him up in like a minute.
The book was even quicker. The book was like, and they ate him.
It was like one line of, they got him.
The episode was like, kind of zooming in and
close-ups of their face going,
gore, but they're like,
and he's their teeth, their tongues in their teeth, them hissing, going, It was, bit weird.
Oh yeah, Mortman looked like Lord Varys from Game of Thrones.
Was he a lord?
I thought that was his title.
I don't think Varys was a lord.
He was way up there, man. Come on.
I don't think he was a lord,
He
though.
was, eugenic? No.
A eugenic, huh?
Sorry.
A eunuch?
Yeah, eunuch. That's the one.
One of those eugenics.
Game of Thrones did not have eugenics, as far as I know.
I mean, didn't the the Targaryens, like, breed in themselves to keep bloodlines pure? Isn't that sort of the same thing?
Classic royalty eugenics.
Yeah. It's not like...
That's why they're all fucked up with the incest.
Not the more modern idea of eugenics, but, you know...
Human breeding.
Keeping their selective breeding going.
This is America! Monarchies are bad!
So, Daenerys Targaryen versus Mr. Mortman, who wins?
I'm gonna give it to Mortman.
If it's just them one-on-one, absolutely.
She
ain't got no
can't
dragons.
handle it. She's fucking nuts.
She got fucking stabbed and
She'll
shit.
go crazy and kill all of her own crew.
And kill all those kids and burn the books and shit. Yeah, Mortman takes that one for sure. So last week, I made up a sequel to The Cuckoo Clock of Doom. The Tuku Clock of Doom. What's your sequel to The Girl Who Cried Monster?
Girl Who Cried Monster. I'm thinking The Monster Who Cried Girl.
Is he like Mortman's son or something?
Yes, it's Mortman's son, lives on the internet, thought he met a girl, and they are a girl, a trans girl, but he didn't like that at all.
Oh, shit.
So he's been writing up all sorts of blogs, and no one believes him!
This girl's a boy!
And then he finally goes to her house to try to get
her. Yeah.
And then her whole family gets him, because they're all trans women.
Yeah, and they get him and turn him into a woman.
I think that this you've taken it too far. It is way too political now.
All right, I guess that's gonna do it until we do the outro and next time on. Next week we're watching. Is it Welcome to Camp Nightmare?
I don't fucking know. You wrote this list.
I did. It's Welcome to Camp Nightmare.
You wrote outro / next time on a bullet point, but nothing next to it or underneath it.
What do we need to say? This is just the outro. We're saying goodbye, and then next time, till next week, we're watching and reading.
On the next piece of Gooseboyz,
we're watching and reading Welcome to Camp Nightmare.
I was doing One Piece,
Well, I took over and did a different thing.
which is...
Just a generic horror narrator.
Oh, okay. Not on brand.
No.